So the NFL released their schedule last night, and people went nuts. I got a text from my mom. Shout to Diane, who doesn't really know sports, but she pretends to. Every time I return home for the holiday, she says, "Patrick, if you decided if you're going to do this sports thing for good, I'm 45, woman. And happy Mother's Day. Yes, I am going to do this sports thing for good because she wants me to become a school teacher. Like I'm just going to go about face at 45 and teach kids. Not happening." Anywho, she said, "I really like the Lions schedule." I said, "Oh yeah? What do you like about it?" She says, "I haven't looked." She's just like everybody else when it comes to the Detroit Lions. She's all in on Dan Campbell. She's all in on the bandwagon. She's just like everybody in the national media, the pathetic showing where everybody's jumping on the trend and the bandwagon, hoping for this desperate national attention to come to fruition for the Detroit Lions. It's kind of like I was telling the big guy, Matt Brown, the other day. The Lions are like that T-shirt, that perfect T-shirt you find at a thrift store. They're that old, worn-out T-shirt that's never done anything. All of a sudden, you find the gem amongst the rest, and everybody's jocking the Lions. It's gone well overboard. They were 9-8 last year. They finished the season a strong 8-2. The hype is real for the Honolulu Blue and Silver. I'll say this. They did beat Rodgers at Lambeau and the Packers to close out the year. So there is some hype, okay? We get it. They kept their offensive coordinator. The offense was prolific. They added a couple of pieces. But here's the deal. They're going to open up the year, and here's where we start with our week one play. They're going to open up the year taking on the Kansas City Chiefs on that Thursday, taking on obviously the Super Bowl winners. The number is 6.5. Lay it. Lay the 6.5, and I'm not just doing that emotional hedge because I'm a Lions fan. The reality, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are 5-0 in season openers, winning by an average of 13 points per. Mahomes, 18 touchdowns and no picks in season openers. Is that good? This is a brand new secondary for the Lions, so it's going to take some time to gel. Remember, the Lions finished 8-2, but they started 1-6 last year. Slow start. I expect the same. A roster turnover a bit for the Lions. And again, before we get the orange wedges and Capri Suns for Dan Campbell's roster, let's just be realistic about where they are. They've won one playoff game since 1957. They've played 13 playoff games since 1970. Do the math, big guy. 53 years the Lions have been involved in 13 postseason games. The Chiefs have played 12 postseason games the last 4 seasons. This is a big step up in competition on the road, big stage at Lambeau. Lay the 6.5 and feel good about it before it gets to 7. Who's next?
No, and also no Jamison Williams to start the year. So it's like, who are they? It's Amon-Ra St. Brown and who? Khalif Raymond? Who else
and good point by Matt Brown with no Jamison Williams. By the way, scheduling note, he'll be hosting a weekend show for VSiN the first 5 or 6 weeks of the NFL season. Sorry, go ahead, Matt. He got suspended for betting.
Yeah,
it happens.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things too. So I'm with you. I think the Lions probably will get better over the course of the season as some of the pieces come together and some of the pieces come back that are going to be missing. But yeah, right at the beginning of the year, I think that maybe some of these people that are super, super hype on them might be a little disappointed.
The Lions are what the kids say. They say vibes, V-I-B-E-Z, big guy. The Lions right now are vibes. Like everybody's jocking the Lions because, yes, Dan Campbell, he's a tremendous personality. I don't know. His in-game leaves much to be desired as far as game management, but the team closed out strong. 8-2. The Packers had a chance to make the postseason. You give them all the credit in the world. It's still Jared Goff. It's still the Detroit Lions, and they're taking on, obviously, the best team in football in Kansas City. Dustin, you're up. Week 1. What's your play?
Yeah, I just think you don't know what you would do with yourself if they were actually good at football is the issue. I don't think it's the Lions. I think it's you. I think if they were a good team, it would mess up something in your brain and, like, the stability of your life. Like, you wouldn't understand how to comprehend.
No, I get what you're saying, and it's almost like you would think that I've now gained momentum just talking trash about my hometown. That's not the case. I'd love for them to be good. It's just one win since 1957 in the postseason. It's kind of hard to draw a plan or a blueprint where they will be good. This is all I'm saying. All right, what's your week 1 play?
Week 1, it's a really basic handicap here. I mean, the Jaguars laying 3.5 at the Colts. Look, it's a division game. You probably shouldn't lay the 3 and a hook in a division game on the road, but the Jaguars team showed us so much last year. Like, I love this roster. We're going to add Calvin Ridley to the mix for Jacksonville now. We've got weapons all over the place for Trevor Lawrence. He's got a run game. He's got Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, O-line solid. Defense is looking really good and young. Like, I'm going to lose on the road week 1 to Gardner Minshew? Like,
or Anthony Richardson.
Richardson.
Like, I think they want to play him. Like, I mean, I think they're going to try everything they can do to play him.
I don't think this is going to be the number.
Yeah.
Like, this number is going to be on the move. This is probably going to be 4.5, 5 by the time this game kicks off. I have no fear in what the Colts are throwing out during this rebuild under Stain Shiken. That is not an easy one. And that's coming from Dustin.
Are hard.
That's coming from Dustin Swedelson. Remember that. So I just think the Jags have too many weapons for the Colts to keep pace. I love laying the 3.5 here.
Matt Brown, you've got 2 for week 1. You're up.
I do. And I don't know how often you guys pull the curtain back here on the show, but I'll pull the curtain back that
please.
Both of Dustin's, I also, because I came in with 4 to be completely prepared. I love the 3.5 there on the Jags. Remember, the guy that was forgotten as well. They get Calvin Ridley back this year as well. So, like, this guy's going to be their number 1 receiver that's been out of, because he did some parlay betting as well. So, like, he's been gone for a season, but he's not coming back off of an ACL or, anything like that. It's not an Achilles tear. The guy's coming back off of a 17 parlay. So everything's going to be fine for this, for this Jags team as we move on here. So I actually really do like that one a ton as well. Give me the Eagles laying 4. I don't even care that it's at the Patriots. I think the Eagles still by far have the best team, at least roster, in the NFL, and this is going to be a very down year, in my opinion, for this Patriots team. I'm looking to kind of fade them in any way, shape, or form that I can. You can look in that division. Their odds to win the division are way, way, way below the other 3 teams in that division. I think that's right, and I think this Eagles team, week 1, we know for sure everyone's coming in healthy in week 1. We don't have to worry about any of the stuff that we normally have to worry about heading into the season. I think that this Eagles team goes in and really makes a statement against the Patriots in week 1.
And this is for everybody not named Calvin Ridley, and for those that don't play in the NFL. You can get that same game parlay tonight for the NBA. Just use your code VSIN over at DraftKings when you download the app. An opportunity to get a plug-in, big guy, off of Matt Brown. A little teaching moment here and a pro tip. So Fezzik, as soon as the week 1 lines opened up, he sent us over a play. That play was the Jets catching 3 at home, hosting the Bills on that Sunday night, week 1. Why? The key number in the NFL, of course, you should know this by now, is 3. It's dropped down to 2. Josh Allen struggled in Jersey last year, 2 picks. He got beat by Zach Wilson. Buffalo dominated this Jets team in Buffalo, no surprise. The Jets, one of the worst offenses in the league last year, obviously add Aaron Rodgers. I like to take dogs in week 1 anyway, but just as a note, again, I don't expect you to be betting a ton on May 11th when the schedule drops, but just so you know, you're not getting the best of it anymore. If you're betting the Bills Jets, my assumption is that number 1.5, 2 as far as the close, and open 3. The key number when betting the NFL. So Fezzik sent that over last night, and I just wanted to pass that information on to you. If you're jumping into the market, and this is crazy to say, on May 12th, after the schedule dropped on May 11th, those numbers have already been manipulated, and we're yet to play a game for another 5 months. But again, could have gotten 3 with the Jets catching it at home down to 2.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.